So it turns out that Bruce Ohr may have actually been in contact with Andrew Weissmann, who is Mueller's deputy, about the dossier well before Weissman was ever appointed to Mueller's task force. This is going to be a huge story if true, because it makes everything Weissman's done in Mueller's investigation, including interviewing people, all the evidence he's collected, it makes it suspect because he is biased and was involved with the very thing they're investigating before he was appointed investigator. Bruce Ohr is a former Obama DOJ official. He had no business being involved in the Russia investigation whatsoever. That was an FBI investigation. Yet, despite that, he's back-channeling with people in the FBI, people in the DOJ, and giving them all the information that this Hillary-hired former MI6 spy, Christopher Steele, is giving him all this information, and we're still getting the information for, oh yeah, Russians. I thought that getting dirt on your opponent from Russians was illegal, but apparently no need to investigate it when it's Hillary getting dirt on Russians, but from Russians on Trump. But anyways, I digress. So Bruce Ohr should have never been involved because for the reason I've said, not to mention which the biggest reason is his wife was actually hired by Fusion GPS to help write the dossier. So Bruce Ohr has a financial incentive to push this dossier. He's making money from it. It's helping his wife out. He shouldn't be involved in the first place. He's even contacting Christopher Steele after Steele's fired by the FBI. So the whole situation is incredibly shady. Well, we find out today, if this report's true from Fox News, that it turns out that he also was back-channeling to Andrew Weissmann, who is Mueller's deputy. And like I said, that's a huge deal. Now let's look at the other people that this report says that Bruce Ohr was communicating with. We got Lisa Page, who was, and Peter Strzok, who were the two lovebirds that were basically fired, demoted for saying about how much they hated Trump. They needed an insurance policy to stop Trump. Then we have Andrew McCabe, who was fired and is under criminal investigation at this point. Was also shown having a tremendous bias against Trump. A DOJ official that's not named, and Andrew Weissmann. It's starting to look like it was a cabal of people getting together, trying to stop Donald Trump from being elected, not announcing that they were communicating with each other, doing this behind the scenes, all working all working to stop Trump from getting elected, which is absolutely incredible. Now, one of the people that was involved with that is one of the investigators into the situation. That is absolutely ridiculous. There is no reason whatsoever that Mueller, if this report is true, which, like everything, if it's an anonymous source, you should take it with a grain of salt, but if it is true, there's no reason Mueller should leave Weissman on the case one more day. He should fire him immediately, and he should start looking to see what damage he's caused by being incredibly biased and being involved in knowing about the dossier and not announcing it in the first place. If Mueller knew that Weissman was one of these people back-channeling with Ohr, then Mueller's investigation should be ended immediately. Bruce Ohr may have committed crimes, right? There's going to be an investigation into whether or not he committed crimes by not disclosing properly his connections to the dossier and by back-channeling with all these people when he shouldn't have been doing so. So in the investigation of that crime, people that are witnesses and possibly even suspects are going to be people like Andrew Weissmann. So how could he credibly be investigating the Trump-Russia situation when he clearly has a stake in the outcome of it coming out a certain way? This is a huge story, and I think if it's true, it's going to blow up more in the future. People want to write it off and say, well, just because he was involved, he knew about this dossier, that doesn't mean anything. But these are the same people that screamed that Jeff Sessions had to recuse himself because one time he met a Russian. And they always want Trump people to recuse themselves. Yet when it's involved with Democrats like Weissman, who's going to be able to go out there and he's involved in this situation and knows about the dossier and knows that a DOJ person's improperly back-channeling with him, he says nothing the entire time, gets appointed to be one of the heads of the investigation, and they'll be totally fine with that. No, it's totally unacceptable, it's totally biased, and it's just another in a long line of points that show that not only was the FBI biased, but this entire investigation was just a witch hunt. It's seeking to cover up the abuses that the FBI did that we're learning about, like wiretapping people that were in Trump's campaign and things like that. And so I think that this is going to be a huge story. Mueller needs to fire Weissman immediately. And if we find out that Mueller knew that Weissman was involved with these talks with Ohr, his investigation needs to be shut down immediately.